say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the lands of the free and the home of the brave?
Good job, Peyton. I would now like to ask Elsie Mendez to lead us in an invocation.
Let us pray. Father God, we thank you for your provision today in food. We thank you for the partners and sponsors that have made this event possible, for the West Volusia Chamber of Commerce, that you may bless them as well, Father. But above all, we thank you for the men and women who serve our community. Father, we ask a special blessing on them this day, for the families, the wives, the children that lend them to us every day so that we can be safe on the streets. Thank you, Father, for them. I pray that you may bless this time, and we give you honor and glory, for we pray this in your name. Amen.
Thank you. You can be seated. So we have a very special performer here today, and I'm just going to do a little introduction. I want to make sure that he's here and ready. Okay, here we go. So please let me introduce Rocky Lynn. Rocky Lynn has appeared nationally on Good Morning America, Fox and Friends, ABC News, and has appeared many times on the stage of the Grand Ole Opry. A veteran of the United States Army, 82nd Airborne, Rocky is the founder of Tribute to the Troops and has dedicated his life to bringing comfort to our Gold Star families. To date, Tribute to the Troops has purchased college scholarships for 112 children in 5 states. Please welcome singer-songwriter Rocky Lynn.
Well, that was quite the introduction. I'd keep your expectations really low. Then maybe we'll be surprised. How you doing, guys? We're here today to say one thing to you in a very loud and clear voice. Thank you. Thank you for your service. Thank you for what you do for our communities. You see people on the very worst days of their lives, and somehow you come to their rescue. You help us. And oftentimes I assume from your perspective it looks overlooked or not appreciated as it should be. But we're here today to say that it is appreciated, and we're very, very grateful for you. Thank you. Plug this in. It's louder if I plug it in. My whole family is in law enforcement. My cousin retired from the Navy, as well as he was a police officer and a school resource officer. My two other nephews are policemen and paratroopers. My one brother's a paratrooper. My other brother's a prison guard. Earlier he was a prisoner. So I didn't plan anything. Let's see what happens. I'll just do a couple songs. I don't know about you, but when I turn on the news, it brings me down. They say there's not enough money, food, or love to go around. Don't you just get tired of all that negativity? Anytime we start believing in just how good it's gonna be, when the people in need get what they need, we finally wipe out corruption and greed. Realize there ain't no reason strong enough to fight. We get bread on the table and seed in the ground, judge not each other and turn this thing around. Imagine how well the world's gonna sleep at night when we get it right. I don't know about you, but I wonder how much difference I can really make. Maybe we do, if we all give a little bit more than we take. If one voice can change a heart, then one heart can change a mind. Maybe we can save tomorrow, one life at a time. When the people in need get what they need, we finally wipe out corruption and greed. Realize there ain't no reason strong enough to fight. We get bread on the table and seed in the ground, judge not each other and turn this thing around. Imagine how well the world's gonna sleep at night when we get it right. When the people in need get what they need, we finally make out corruption and greed. Realize there ain't no reason strong enough to fight. We get bread on the table and seed in the ground, judge not each other and turn this thing around. Imagine how well the world's gonna sleep at night. Imagine how well the world's gonna sleep at night. Imagine how well the world's gonna sleep at night when we get it right. When we get it right. Yeah. This is my friend Lauren. Lauren was a Navy SEAL. He's a commander at the VFW. How about a hand for all our veterans in the room? How about all the people that before you served as firemen and policemen and sheriffs and law enforcement officers? How many were in the military? Just by show of hands. How about a hand for all those men and women? 2005, I think that's what 2005, is that right, Steve? Yeah, 2005 was the first year they asked me if I wanted to go to Afghanistan and Iraq for Christmas time. And of course I said yes, I wanted to go. 2005, we were lucky enough to have the #1 selling song in the nation for 10 weeks. I had a song on the Oak Ridge Boys' Greatest Hits record, and I'd written Arrows at Airplanes for Steve Wariner. I'm not bragging, I'm just saying that's what was going on. And I didn't want to go over there and say, look at me, look at what I've done. Because on November the 14th, 1964, I was found in a garbage dumpster in Charlotte, North Carolina, and left to die. I was 4 days old. And I grew up at a place called the Barium Springs Home for Children. And the day after high school, I went into the United States Army. And I'm older than most of y'all in here, probably all of you, actually. But all the tax sergeants and the airborne sergeants, they were all Vietnam guys like you, Lauren. And that was the first time a man ever looked at me and said anything positive. Like, you can do it, son. I remember when I graduated jump school, Sergeant Cowan put those wings on my chest. And he said, if you can do this, son, you can do anything. And I was just naive enough to believe him. I still do. So I personally feel like I owe a lot of you men for my family and for the direction that I ended up going. So I said, yes, I'm going to go to Afghanistan. And I didn't, so instead of singing my songs, I wrote a bunch of songs called Songs for Soldiers. And they're all songs about being deployed, about being in uniform and serving our country, and about what a great and wonderful land we have as a country. First year, we played all the green zones, Baghdad, Kandahar, all that stuff. And then on our days off, they would say, do you want to go to the little places? And I said, yeah, I'll go. So they put us on a helicopter. And they fly out there and they land really fast. You ever notice that? I think that's so they don't get shot. And anyway, I would always throw up. Every single time I would throw up. And they would say, the warrant officer, that's who flies the helicopters in the Army. The warrant officer would say, you must get motion sickness. And I said, no, I'm afraid of dying in a helicopter crash in Afghanistan. Anyway, we went 14 times. And we took the money from Songs for Soldiers because people bought those CDs, and we've sent 112 kids to college, people like you who've given their life in service of our country. So, since I'm kind of making it up as I go along, why don't we pretend it's Christmas Eve? And where should we be, Sergeant? Let's be at Camp Sword. Camp Sword is in Alambar Province. It's up north. It's a room about this size, except where the windows were, there's holes in it. There's a bunch of Marines in there guarding the pass. And this is what I do. Ain't America beautiful? This place that we call home. Give us your tired, your poor, your yearning to be free forevermore. Ain't America beautiful? Ain't America beautiful? Oh, I forgot to tell you. The Taliban's right over the hill. And they heard, as we were setting up, they said they're going to hear every word you sing. So here we are. We're 18 years old again. They snuck in 2 beers. If you don't drink, that's okay. Your buddies had 4. This is what I do. From the cities to the farmland, north, south, east, and west. From the Rockies to the ocean. Let me ask you a question, young Marines. Ain't America the best? Did y'all get that part about being 18 years old? Halfway away from home, they snuck in 2 beers. Did you get that? Or did I know I'm getting old. Did I accidentally say we were over in DeLand at the retirement center, hoping they bring us that green Jello because we don't like that red Jello. I'm sorry. I apologize for that. I won't ask you to holler but once or twice. Let me ask you a question, young Marines. Ain't America the best? Ain't America beautiful? This place that we call home. Give us your tired, your poor, your yearning to be free forevermore. Ain't America beautiful? Ain't America beautiful? we all came here from somewhere. Lord, help us not forget, folks, that we're all in this together. One more time, let them hear it in Texas tonight. Ain't America the best? Ain't America beautiful? This place that we call home. Give us your tired, your poor, your yearning to be free forevermore. Ain't America beautiful? Ain't America beautiful? That lady in the harbor with her torch held high, the Mississippi River and that big Florida sky. Ain't America beautiful? This place that we call home. Give us your tired, your poor, your yearning to be free forevermore. Ain't America beautiful? Ain't America beautiful? Ain't America beautiful? Ain't America beautiful, folks? As I wind down my portion of the morning, I'm going to sing a song for you called I'm Proud to Be a Soldier. Are you a 4-star general? What does that mean, those 4 stars? The sheriff? Oh my gosh, that's a 4-star general. Oh, he's just the sheriff. But when I say I'm proud to be a soldier, Sheriff, I mean I'm proud to be an airman. I'm proud to be a naval sailor. I'm proud to be in the Army. I'm proud to be in reserves. I'm proud to be a fireman. I'm proud to be a policeman. I'm proud to be a sheriff. I only wrote I'm proud to be a soldier because I couldn't think of anything that rhymed with Marine. Except for tangerine, latrine. That'll get you in trouble. So, Sheriff, what's your last name? Sheriff Chipwood, this is for you and all these men. I am a volunteer. I choose to be right here. This is my job. This is my life. This is who I am. Yeah, this is what I do. I'm one of the fortunate few, 'cause I followed my heart and I know what I'm doing is right. I'm proud to be a soldier, to offer my life in this fight for the red, white, and blue. I won't back down. I'll stand my ground along with all the others. My band of brothers, say it loud. I'm proud to be a soldier. I wear this uniform and stare into the eye of the storm. I'm part of a team that's bigger than me. You are the rocket's red glare, and this is a family. It always was and always will be. Oh, when I'm far from home, I'm still not alone. My brothers and sisters are there. I'm proud to be a soldier, to offer my life in this fight for the red, white, and blue. I won't back down. I'll stand my ground along with all the others. My band of brothers, say it loud. I'm proud to be a soldier. Just like my father, his father, and his father before. We'll keep this flame burning and honor these colors he wore. 'Cause I'm proud to be a soldier, to offer my life in this fight for the red, white, and blue. I won't back down. I'll stand my ground along with all the others. My band of brothers, say it loud. I'm proud to be a soldier, say it loud. I'm proud to be a soldier. I'm proud to be a soldier. Thank you, Sheriff Chipwood. Sherry said I could sing 3 or 4. I picked 4. So I'll tell you just a quick story, and I sing my song. So one day I was sitting in my house, and the telephone rang, and this man said, "Hello, my name is Donald Rumsfeld. I'm the Secretary of Defense." And sadly, Sheriff, I said, "Well, I'm the Queen of England." And I hung up. I hung up on the Secretary of Defense. Well, directly this lady called back, and she said, "Hello, my name is Linda Kassarian. I'm Director of Affairs at the Pentagon. Please don't hang up on me." And she put Mr. Rumsfeld on the phone, and he had one of those CDs that we'd taken to the family. It was with my song called Home on it. I was deployed when I was in the Army, and one of our men lost his life. His name was Juan Thompson, Corporal Juan Thompson. And there's an empty seat at his table every day at his family's Christmas. Every day is Veterans Day at their house. So I wrote a song for him, and Mr. Rumsfeld had that song. And he said, "Son, we're starting a program called America Supports You, and we think your song might be our theme song. But," there's always a but in the government, right? Sometimes a big one. He said, "But in the second verse, when the soldiers are afraid, you think you could change that? We want it to be all upbeat and positive." I'm proud to stand here, Sheriff, in front of you and all these men and women that I respect and say I didn't even have to think about it. I said, "No, I can't change those words, because on that mountaintop in Nicaragua, we were afraid. You'd be crazy if you weren't afraid. But what's your program about? What do you want?" He said, "What we want is what happened to our Vietnam veterans like Lauren never happen again. That people, regardless of their," this is a quote, "race, religion, political preference, or socioeconomic background," whatever that means, "that we support our men and women in uniform no matter what." And I said, "Oh, well, I'll write you that song." He told me later he never expected to hear from me again. But there were 2 things that Mr. Rumsfeld didn't know. See, I think songwriting's like farming. When you plant your seeds in the ground and you practice, that's like practicing your guitar. God makes it rain, something might grow. He didn't know, 1, that I had a recording studio in my basement, and 2, that God was about to make it rain. So I sat down on my couch and I turned on my cassette recorder. I'll tell little Miss Peyton what a cassette is when we're done. And however long this song is how long it took to write. So I'll take credit for the other ones, but I think God wrote this song. I recorded it and I sent it overnight express mail, Federal Express, to Donald Rumsfeld, Secretary of Defense. $10.75. He never paid me back. And he called me the next day and he said, "This is our song, son." Since then, we've sung it at the World War II Memorial every year. We've sung it for Mr. and Mrs. Bush, Jr. and Sr., Mr. and Mrs. Obama, Mr. and Mrs. Trump, and this year on Memorial Day we sing it for Mr. and Mrs. Biden. And they played it at every memorial service in Iraq and Afghanistan. And it wouldn't be right for us to come here and not recognize those men and women that put on that uniform for our freedoms and weren't able to take it off that next day. This is for all of them. This is for all of you. God bless you. Thank you so much for your service. Thank you for our freedoms. Red, white, and blue. Will they come from every corner of our country? The cities, the mountains, and the farms. Modern day Minutemen and women like our heroes from the past. Whenever we need them, all we have to do is ask. They're Christians, they're Muslim, and they're Jew, but they're all red, white, and blue. Sacrificing their family and their friends for our country and the freedoms they defend. Giving everything they've got, some have had to give it all. The black man, the white man, and the Sioux. The middle class, the poor, and the well-to-do. They're all red, white, and blue. And when their duty calls them to stand guard and patrol, they represent with honor the values we uphold. They are the proud Americans, tested, tried, and true. They're all red, white, and blue. They're all red, white, and blue. Like me and you. Will God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with light from above. From the mountains to the prairie, to the ocean, wide with foam. God bless America, our home, sweet home. God bless America. And God bless our first responders, our firemen, our policemen, and our sheriffs for giving us our home, sweet home. Thank you so much. God bless you.
How'd y'all like Rocky Lynn? He's pretty awesome. I have to tell you, the way that I first heard about Rocky Lynn was one of my husband's best friends, Jim Jacob. His daughter was killed in Kabul, Afghanistan. And he and Rocky got together several years back, right? You met at a Gold Star Family event. And then Joe Hearn went and saw one of my friend Jim Jacob, met Rocky, and has brought him here to Deltona. So when I found out they were going to be here in town anyhow for Memorial Day, I thought, how fitting. So I hope you all enjoyed them.
Thank you.
I don't know what I'll do next year to turn it up, but you know. I know. So anyhow, once again, I'm Sherry. I hope y'all enjoyed your lunch today. I heard it was very good. And so we want to thank Mr. Joe Hearn Events for being our caterer. And before I get too far in the program, I do want to let you know that Rocky and his wife Susan are going to be set up out in front, and they have CDs available. You can take pictures with them, hear more about his story, and he will be coming back here to the center. So keep your eye out on our Facebook. We'll advertise that when he comes and does a full concert. All right. I would also like to acknowledge our presenting sponsor today. Without them, this event would not have come about. Thanks to Sherry Simmons when she was the first executive director of the West Volusia Chamber and brought this ideal with her from Alexandria, and then got together with Raphael at Halifax and said, hey, we should do this, and so they did. So while this is the 4th year, it's actually a 5-year event almost. So we want to thank Halifax Health for being our presenting sponsor. Can you please stand? I would now like to welcome Dr. Margaret Crossman, our Chief Medical Officer at Halifax Health. She's going to be talking a little bit about how Halifax chose to get involved here.
Welcome. Thank you, Sherry. Thank you. That was an amazing, I had no idea I was going to be fed and entertained. Rocky, that was amazing. So thank you so much for the privilege and the honor. It's been wonderful to be able to be here now in our 4th year. Thank you for inviting Halifax Health and UF Health Medical Center of Deltona to host this prestigious event. It's such an honor to be here. Valor is what we're here to recognize and award, among many other things. According to Merriam-Webster, valor is strength in mind and spirit that enables a person to encounter danger with firmness and bravery. Oxford adds that valor is great courage in the face of danger, especially in battle. That is exactly what the first responders in Texas demonstrated yesterday. They began their shifts prepared to serve. Their courageous actions were born out of the convictions and beliefs they held as they left their homes for work. Those called to the scene, no doubt, were aware of the potential threat to their own safety. Yet they walked confidently into danger to bring help and protect others from harm. As I trust it is with you, my heart grieves this morning for the families in Texas who lost children in this horrific tragedy, for the first responders wounded in the line of duty. I'm grateful for the bravery, the valor of those who stopped the shooter and cared for the dead and the wounded. No doubt their lives have been forever affected by what they saw, what they experienced, and what they had to do. Times like these are reminders that we should never take our first responders for granted. Thank you for what you do each and every day. May God guide you and grant protection and strength, courage and valor to face whatever this day may bring to each of you. Thank you.
I would like to take a few minutes, and once again, we've acknowledged Halifax, but there are so many sponsors here. And I want to start off by thanking the West Volusia Regional Chamber Board of Directors, because they get behind all my crazy ideas, and they say, sure, go for it. So if you can please stand and be acknowledged. You'll see there's a lot of people going around today. So before we get too deeply into this, if you have any of your co-workers who are at the stations and they wanted to be here but couldn't, or family, this is being live broadcast through Deltona TV on the Facebook page and on Deltona TV's website. So if you want to text out and let them know that once in just a minute we're going to start these awards, they'll be able to watch it live like they were here. So feel free to do that. And thank you, Deltona TV, for being a sponsor and helping us out with this. I would also like to recognize all of our other sponsors. So I'm going to start with our supporting sponsors, Duke Energy and Space Coast Credit Union. Our program sponsor is Amazon. I'd like to thank our table sponsors, Florida Healthcare Plans and Sunsure Insurance. We had a special sponsor this year, which is our entertainment sponsor, and that would be Holiday Inn and Suites in DeLand. And then finally, but not lastly and not ever last, we want to thank all of the people and the companies who sponsored our Table from the Hearts. Our Table from the Hearts are what allow your loved ones to attend this event at no cost, and so they can be a part of it and supporting you. So in no specific order, we will start with, we have our Partner from the Heart sponsor, Central Florida Pregnancy Center. Gail Williams State Farm Insurance. The mortgage firm, and from one of the ladies who started this chamber, Alternate Plumbing. Thank you so much for your generous contributions and support. I would like to introduce some of our elected officials here today. Can we please ask all of our state, county, and city officials to stand to be recognized? Come on. We thank you all so much for the support that I know that you show our first responders every day, that you're helping to get them the care that they need, the equipment they need, so thank you so much. Last but in no way least, we would like to take a moment to acknowledge the men and women who lead our public safety departments. Can I please ask the sheriff, the fire department, the police department chiefs to stand? Thank you so much. The West Volusia Regional Chamber has been honored to be a part of this event, continuing every 4 years. Here at the Chamber, we will continue to honor those who risk their lives to keep us safe. Every officer, firefighter, EMS, paramedic technician, and sheriff's deputy who receives an award today displays the ultimate sacrifice, character, bravery, and courage. When you hear the instance for which we are honoring them, you will know that sometimes angels do not wear wings, they wear uniforms. Today, we will bestow 20 Valor Awards to these men and women who have made remarkable decisions and performed extraordinary acts. They are our heroes. These men and women leave their families every day to go to work, not knowing if they will see their loved ones again. Therefore, it is such a privilege to all of us here at the West Volusia Chamber and Halifax Health to put on this event and to honor you today. It is now my pleasure to introduce our MC today. A little story behind that. So Matt Austin was to be our MC. Unfortunately, COVID hit his whole house this week. But fortunately for us, we were able to bring Steve Montiero, Trooper Steve from Channel 6. Please welcome him. Thank you, Steve.
So the way you said it, it's like you'd rather have Matt Austin here.
No, are you kidding?
So like they said, I'm Steven Montiero, a.k.a. Trooper Steve. I feel like that guy who owns the car dealership, U.S. Marine. You know, he changed my name legally at this point. So for those that don't know who I am, I do the morning traffic for News 6 here in Orlando. I'm not a groupie, I promise. I was and am a current law enforcement officer. I was with the Florida Highway Patrol for about 9 years, full-time. Trademarked the term Trooper Steve. And Here we are 5 years later. So I do the news in the morning, also a proud law enforcement advocate. So for those who do watch in the morning, I get away with a lot. I get away with sometimes too much. Not as much as the sheriff does, but on TV it's always fun watching the sound bites that he provides. But as a member of the law enforcement community, to be asked to come and do events like this, it's truly humbling. To watch the performances that we get to watch when we have events like this. It reminds us that although we hear the cliche stuff all the time, we go out and fight the things that the people pretend don't exist. It's true. I work with those people. They really believe this stuff doesn't exist out there. And it's because of people like you, they get to keep believing that. So when I go off on a tangent, I truly, truly respect everybody and everything you guys do. I miss it. If I could strap on a uniform and a gun belt right now, it probably wouldn't fit. But I still appreciate it more than some of you guys will ever know. And today, after reading through some of the situations, I've been there, and then I've covered them with you guys, being there and watching you guys go through it. So we're going to recognize some amazing first responders today. Come up here, smile, not just because your chief or your sheriff's next to you, but because you deserve it. So be proud of it. Your family's here. And if you're not going to smile for you, smile because your family's here with you. So we're going to, some housekeeping rules. Obviously, cops need instructions. Firefighters just write the instructions for the cops. And wait, come on, I'm going to talk smack. Listen, this is what you did. This is what happened when you had a trooper come. There's not a trooper here in Volusia County, supposedly, because they're out working all the calls you guys are hanging out doing. So, hey, I got the mic. I got the mic. And I have an unmarked that I'm driving, so it's even, right? So what's going to happen, you guys, when you hear your name and the incident, please come forward to the stairs on the left. Once the reading is finished, you will be called onto the stage, and then you can pause for your photo. While we're up here, Matt Austin would not have had this fancy setup. So I'm going to slam him every second I get. He called me Monday, and he's like, Steve, I need your help. I go, are you pulled over? And he's like, no, I have a police event to do. I go, why are you doing it, and why am I not doing it? He's like, well, I go, I got you. So here we go. We're going to start off here with the Firefighter of the Year from the Deltona Fire Department. I'm a trooper, not a scholar, so if I mess your names up during this, please bear with me. Engineer Keith Weish. It is with great honor and pleasure to nominate Engineer Keith Weish as our 2021 Firefighter of the Year. Engineer Weish is one of the unsung heroes within our organization who does not look for the recognition for what he does every single day for the department and, of course, for the city of Deltona. Engineer Weish started his career with Deltona in April of 2006. He is in his 16th year with the department, serving the majority of his time as a firefighter. Engineer Weish also became a relief driver and often worked out of a class as a driver engineer. He was promoted to engineer in January of 2016. So over the past couple of years, he has dedicated a significant amount of time getting certified in urban search and rescue and finishing his Fire Officer 1 certification, firefighter ranks. You guys are all over the place with me sometimes. He is now a member of our Special Operations team and our Honor Guard, and just recently qualified to work as a rank as lieutenant. Well, hope they're paying you for that, sir. But what makes him different from the rest of the pack is the attitude and his ethic. Amazing. Engineer Weish always comes to work with a positive attitude, ready to serve the citizens of Deltona. To the best of my knowledge, Engineer Weish has never used a single sick day since starting his career with the city and uses minimal vacation each year. No matter what is going on, where he gets moved to, he is constantly demonstrating the right attitude and his perspective to his fellow firefighters and especially to new firefighters. Engineer Weish has nothing but positive relations with the members of this department. He has an impeccable work ethic, and it shows every single day. He truly loves to come to work. no sick days. Engineer Weish is more of a behind-the-scenes type of person, and though you do not always see it, he spends a lot of the time mentoring the younger firefighters. Anyone who is ever in need of help on or even off duty, give him a call because he is the first one there for them. I believe Engineer Weish truly embodies what a firefighter should be in the way they present themselves with their peers and their professionalism they demonstrate in the public eye. There may not be a specific call or an act of valor demonstrated by Keats, but he deserves this award. But I believe that his attitude and desire to serve those around him demonstrates this in a much greater way. The Deltona Fire Chief, Chief Snyder. Officer of the Year for the Orange City Police Department, Detective T. Scott Therrell. The members of the Orange City Police Department recognize the officer who exhibits the highest level of professionalism and dedication in the performance of their duties. Such an honor is not lightly given, but is reserved for only the most respected and valued members of our organization. Now, he has been selected by his peers to represent the Orange City Police Department as the 2021 Police Officer of the Year. Detective Therrell has been instrumental in his duties and has served in the department with distinction in every aspect of this work throughout his career. His record is exemplary, and he has shown that he is extremely reliable when he is ever called upon. Utilizing 0 hours of unscheduled leave during 2021, the skills and abilities necessary to become an experienced detective are developed over time, and this detective has progressed rapidly and as a well-rounded investigator, working a plethora of criminal investigations to include sex crimes, death investigations, arsons, burglary, and multiple other thefts. Detective has received several letters of recognition and commendations throughout his career. Now, he has constantly distinguished himself as an exceptionally capable and dedicated police officer and investigator, as well as a person of high moral character and integrity. He is organized, efficient, and extremely competent, and has an excellent rapport with the people of all ages. His communication skills, both written and verbal, are excellent, and he has a very friendly and outgoing personality. Man, your chief's really letting us have it here. Now, this detective is well respected by his peers from his long-term service, dedication, enthusiasm, and commitment to the Orange City community. We take great pride in presenting him as our selection for Officer of the Year. Congratulations. I feel like some of this needs like Match.com or... Officer of the Year for the Holly Hill Police Department goes to Investigator Andrew Wilmot. It is a great honor and privilege for the command staff of the Holly Hill Police Department to nominate Investigator Andrew Wilmot for the West of Volusia Chamber Valor Award. Andrew began his career at the Holly Hill Police Department in May of 2014, and he was assigned to the Patrol Division. He holds a Bachelor of Science degree in Criminal Justice and is a graduate of the University of Central Florida. Go Knights. In 2015, Andrew was selected by his peers as the Holly Hill Police Department's Officer of the Year because of his proven record of outstanding dedication and service to his community. Andrew was assigned as an investigator with the Eastside Narcotics Task Force, a local multi-agency counter-narcotics organization created to combat the illegal drug trade. So his tireless efforts to combat the scourge of dangerous drugs in our region has led to the arrest and successful prosecution, that's the key, of numerous individuals of the state and federal levels. Most recently, Andrew turned a street-level narcotics investigation into a federal indictment of a suspect who sold 2 kilos of heroin laced with the deadly drug fentanyl, considered by many to be America's #1 killer. Now, in addition, last year, Andrew's challenging work with his task force partners cooperatively resulted in a seizure of approximately $100,000 in proceeds derived from the illicit drug trade, over 2,000 grams of heroin, almost 200 grams of meth, over 1,200 grams of cocaine, and 2 separate firearms. By its nature, the dangerous work of an undercover police officer often goes unnoticed, and their success rarely makes the front page of the newspaper or website. But make no mistake, Andrew's efforts have had an incredible positive impact on the life and safety of our community. By any measure, Andrew personifies the courage, dedication, and commitment that awards recognize, and his selfless willingness and willingness to go into harm's way to protect our community is the finest tradition of service. From your chief, Jeffrey Miller. Our life-saving award for the Orange City Police Department, Officer Elliot Vasquez. Orange City Police Officer Elliot Vasquez responded to the Quality Inn on South Volusia Avenue in reference to a possible accidental overdose on June 6 of 2020. Now, upon arrival to the room, Officer Vasquez observed an adult male subject lying on the floor on his right side. Officer Vasquez checked the subject's vitals and discovered he had no pulse and was not breathing. He relayed this information to responding rescues and medical personnel. Now, Officer Vasquez immediately began CPR on the unresponsive male victim. After several minutes of performing CPR on this individual, Officer Vasquez was able to successfully resuscitate the male prior to emergency medical staff arriving on the scene. When paramedics arrived, they stabilized that male victim and transported him to the hospital, where he was evaluated by medical personnel. Now, the victim made a full recovery from the occurrence and was released from the hospital. Officer Vasquez is to be commended for his quick reaction to a medical emergency, his ability to maintain his composure, and of course, his tenacity in performing CPR. Ladies and gentlemen, from the Orange City Police Department. The Bronze Medal from the Volusia County Sheriff's Office, Deputy Micah Stoltz. Deputy Micah Stoltz responded to a crash on I-4 at State Road 44 in the early hours on December 18, 2021, in which a vehicle left I-4 and crashed into a retention pond, endangering 2 people inside that vehicle. When the deputy arrived on scene, he observed the partially submerged vehicle 25 yards from the shore and a woman in the water trying to get the male passenger out of the car. Now, without hesitation, Deputy Stoltz removed his essential gear and courageously entered the murky water to safely help that couple to shore. The male passenger told Deputy Stoltz that he could not swim and didn't know how he would make it to shore. Deputy Stoltz's act of heroism, despite the danger, greatly contributed to the successful rescue of this couple. Volusia County Sheriff, presented by Sheriff Mike Chitwood. So Deputy Patrick, you're going to have to give me the last name. O'Mealy? O'Melia? All right. So Volusia County Sheriff, this silver medal goes to Deputy Patrick O'Mealy and Deputy Nicholas Mileto. Deputy O'Mealy and Mileto responded to an occupied vehicle that was actively sinking on February 27, 2021. The deputies entered the water, risking their own safety to save the driver. As deputies removed her from the vehicle, it became completely submerged. Their heroic actions saved the driver's life, reflecting the highest standards of law enforcement and bringing honor to both themselves and, of course, to the Volusia County Sheriff's Office. Ladies and gentlemen, these 2 deputies. The silver medal from the Orange City Police Department goes to Sergeant Brian Kim. Officer Brian Kidd responded to the John Knox Village in reference to a suicidal man armed with a firearm on February 17th, 2020. Now, once on scene, the officer learned a resident was in his room making suicidal threats and was observed with a firearm in his hand. Now, from a safe distance, of course, Officer Kidd began communicating and established a rapport with the subject, learning he was a military veteran, as is Officer Kidd. Officer Kidd used this military connection to gain time and trust with the suicidal man. After a bit of time continuing the dialogue with the male, officer was able to convince the subject to put the firearm down without harming himself or others. The subject was taken into custody for medical evaluation. Officer Brian Kim remained calm throughout the incident and treated the suicidal subject with dignity and respect while handling a very stressful situation. Call for service that easily could have ended far differently. Ladies and gentlemen, Officer Brian Kidd from the Orange City Police Department. I want to be this officer's friend because of your last name. The gold medal goes to DeLand Police Officer Timothy Rideout. Officer Rideout is being recognized for his excellent use of judgment and restraint in the performance of his duties. His direct action on July 3rd, 2021, near West Listed Avenue and South Clara Avenue led to the safe arrest of the sex offender under very dangerous and volatile conditions. So, as Officer Rideout attempted to take a sexual offender into custody who had an active warrant for his arrest for failing to register his location to authorities, the individual resisted his lawful efforts to arrest him, and he was able to pull a knife on Officer Rideout and fled on foot. Officer Rideout, he rode out and pursued him on foot. That's what happens when you say, Trooper Steve, you can ad-lib. Well, as he closed in on the individual abruptly turned around and pointed that knife at Officer Rideout's direction and took 2 steps towards him. Officer Rideout quickly realized that he was in an imminent danger of death or great bodily injury and produced his firearm. Yet, at the same time, he was able to process and observe that there were several people, including young children, behind the individual with the knife. Officer Rideout used his training and created more space between himself and the individual in an attempt to de-escalate the threat to him and to the others in the immediate area. He was able to not have to fire his firearm at the particular time because of his quick thinking, and thereby placed himself in greater peril in an effort to keep the community members around from being in the line of fire. Officer Rideout used distance and time to his advantage while a perimeter was simultaneously being set up by other officers around the subject. As a result of Officer Rideout's efforts, the individual was taken into custody and arrested without injury to citizens or other officers. His quick thinking and judgment and his willingness to place himself at personal risk so others are safe make Officer Timothy Rideout's actions worthy of the Gold Medal of Valor. Congratulations, sir. All right. Gold medal for the Volusia County Sheriff's Office goes to Sergeant William Maxwell, Sergeant Omar Balo, Detective Dave Winhoven, Sergeant Anthony Zimmerer, Deputy Michael Sawicki, Deputy Anthony Ray, Deputy Nicole Richardson, and Deputy Donald Gray. This was an incident all of Central Florida knows about. Volusia County deputies responded to 1050 Enterprise Osteen Road in regard to an armed burglary involving 2 juveniles on June 1st, 2021. Once on scene, the juvenile defendants engaged deputies with gunfire. Deputies attempted to de-escalate the situation. However, the juveniles continued to shoot at them. After all efforts to end the incident without force were made, deputies returned fire, striking the female defendant. The male defendant was taken into custody unharmed. Deputies were faced with extreme danger and a true combat situation and acted with great courage. For that, the sheriff would like to make this nomination for the Medal of Valor.
You know, I can't resist this.
Go for it.
I cannot
I
resist
saw
it.
the mic and I'm like, here we go.
I could not resist. Folks, I just want you to know, whenever a trooper puts that hat on,
Ticket.
their IQ drops 20%. So let's just keep that in mind.
So that's only if the hat sits up.
Is that what it is?
If it sits down, business.
And I don't know if you've met Lieutenant Cobb yet back there, sitting back there, but you're wearing his socks. I just want you to know that.
I don't get fun wearing a uniform anymore, so it's the socks now. And everyone's always like, you're much shorter in person. Like, yeah, 5'8" on a good day. So. You may not think I can hear you, but I can hear every conversation that's taking place right here. For an incident that could have easily gone south and that was covered all over this country. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give these deputies one more round of applause. And the gold medal for the Volusia County Fire Rescue, Lieutenant Samuel Fiorna, firefighter Timothy Truly, and firefighter Jared Kramer. On March 29th, 2021, both firefighters were returning from a citizen assist call in Station 14's district. While they were driving southbound on A1A, returning into quarters, a white SUV traveling north crossed the double yellow divided line. You can tell a trooper didn't write this report. When this occurred, the vehicle collided with engine 14 head on. Significant damage was incurred by both vehicles. The crew were wearing their seatbelts and regained their composure after the truck came to a stop. The fire truck was resting on Palm Drive with the passenger side of the vehicle on a retaining wall of the ground. All three members of VCFR were alerted to and conscious in the apparatus. They were able to self-extricate from the truck after getting out of the engine and doing a rapid assessment on each other. The crews went to check on the other vehicle. As it turned out, there was only a driver present. This individual was lying across the front seat and had significant traumatic injuries. Lieutenant made contact with Central Dispatch and advised them of their situation. His crew returned to the fire truck and began getting medical supplies and the equipment to initiate care for the driver of the SUV. They made access to the patient and was immediately called a trauma alert. Air 1 was requested for transport. The crew began to cut away the passenger side door of that SUV and was able to prep that patient to be removed and to be transported. Word was received from Halifax that the driver of the SUV was going into emergency surgery and in critical condition. The hospital staff stated that the crew's quick and decisive actions removing, evaluating, and preparing the patient for transport were why his condition was so promising. It is this type of dedication and determination that as an agency we strive for. These three individuals delivered life-saving care in a challenging situation. They delivered this care event after a traumatic event that happened to them. The ability to overcome these challenging circumstances is why I am recommending that this lieutenant and two firefighters be awarded the Golden Medal of Valor from your chief, Tim Martin.
And Steve, if I can just say really quick, when I heard about this story, I thought a fire truck's big. It could take it, right? This is the picture of the fire truck, so take a look at it. And these guys still got out and did their job. Extra round of applause.
So to everybody who got up here and award, you deserve it. Thank you beyond. I can't say thanks enough for, one, inviting what I like to call an outsider now from law enforcement world, but I call myself the outsider inside the news building, to still come out and be a part of your community. It's not just as a trooper, I got to hang out with everybody, whether it's firefighters, whether it's Volusia County, whether it was down in Osceola or west in Lake County. I had a true privilege of always being around real professionals here in Central Florida. And we hear the mess all around the country on how people don't work together. I'm always the first to say it's a little different here in Central Florida. Doesn't matter the uniform, doesn't matter the car you drive, we're coming when you call for help. So thank you so much for having me here today, and it was an honor, and I'm looking forward to the invite, not Matt, next time. So, Sherry, I turn it back over to you, and I think you want your mayor's.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, let's have a hand for Trooper Steve. He stepped up yesterday and accepted this, and we would love to have you back next year. You and Matt can fight it out.
Maybe we'll both come.
There you go.
There we go.
Thank you so much. Okay, it is now my honor. We have a special award this year, and it's called the Mayor's Legacy Award. So I would like to invite Mayor Heidi Herzberg and Mayor Karen Chazet up to the stage.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Mayor Heidi Herzberg.
And I'm Mayor Karen Chazet.
And we're here from Deltona and DeBerry to present the Mayor's Legacy Award. So, in putting together my nomination for the Mayor's Legacy Award, I asked myself these questions. What is the meaning of valor? What defines a person of valor? So what is the meaning of valor? There are many synonyms for valor: bravery, daring, fearlessness, audacity, boldness, backbone, guts, courage, in the presence of danger. What defines a person of valor? Strength of mind in regard to danger, that quality which enables a person to encounter danger with firmness. Volusia County Sheriff Mike Chitwood embodies these characteristics along with another trait: leadership. Valor and leadership, not only in his law enforcement background as an officer, a chief, and now sheriff, but also within the community and its residents. Many of us have seen, heard, or been at the receiving end of the daring, fearlessness, backbone, and guts that drive him. A drive that is not only fearless in bringing justice forward for victims, but a drive that also seeks to empower his community. Mike Chitwood is quite simply a rock star in the local community. From coffee with a cop to shopping with kids at Christmas, from meeting with the migrants in Pearson to working with senators, governors, and local leaders area-wide, empowering his staff, paving the way for a juvenile justice center and an education and training academy, providing Narcan, mental health awareness programs, drones, Air One's Safer Watch app, ComStat, using drug forfeiture money and grants to directly help our communities, and continually participating in dunk tanks are but a few of the ways Sheriff Chitwood engages the people around him for the inclusion and betterment of our residents. Valor, to me, is not only defined in the traditional battleground sense, but in the daily battle of fighting for victims of crime and injustice, walking the tightrope of local politics and traditions, and cultivating and energizing those who can work together to educate, embrace, and empower the people that are most in need. Above all, valor is not being afraid, of forging a new path into uncharted territory, of criticism, and of, in the face of danger, taking it all on with firmness and courage. That is Mike Chitwood.
DeBerry, like Deltona, does not have its own police department. Instead, we chose to contract out this service, which allows us to pick and choose from those who provide it. And we chose the best, the Volusia Sheriff's Office, to deliver our law enforcement services. Sheriff Chitwood makes us thankful every day that we have his team protecting our city. When he sees an issue, he tackles it head on and puts in place programs to make our community safe. His actions demonstrate the true meaning of leadership and valor and make DeBerry the safest place to live, work, and play. I'm proud to help Mayor Hertzberger and presenting this award to Sheriff Chitwood.
Congratulations, sir. Let's hear it again for Sheriff Chitwood. Yes, did we surprise you?
No. Somebody said something to somebody who texted me about an hour ago and said, hey, just so you know what's going to happen, but I was surprised. I don't deserve this. If I would ask everybody in the Volusia County Sheriff's Office to stand up, please. Everybody that's here. Any success that we have comes from these men and women. I'm just fortunate enough to be in the front. So thank you all very much.
Thank you, mayors. Thank you, sheriff. And once again, thank you, Steve, so much for being a part of this.
You're welcome.
I did miss thanking somebody. So we have a retired law enforcement person who is part of our chamber. He actually works with my brother's company, who is all retired law enforcement, and that's Ronnie Gregory. He sat on my committee this week, or this year, helping us choose your Valor recipients, 35 years with City of Lake Mary. Thank you, Ronnie. And they stole my notes. Okay, that's okay. I can wing it. So I did want to say, while Sherry started off with Raphael bringing this, I also come from a family of first responders, and I told the story last year, but some of you are new, and so I know what you do. My mother was the first female firefighter in the state of Florida. She went to Seminole Community College back in, I believe it was 1976 that she got certified. Maybe I'm wrong on that. So we would be woke up in the middle of the night, thank you, and carried to the fire station because it was a volunteer, laid out in bunks while the dispatcher sat with us while we slept and they went out and fought brush fires or whatever. So I understand what it's like when you leave your families and the kids at home and you yourself are worried. So that's why we do this. We do this to give back to you, to acknowledge that every day you guys give of yourself wholly. So once again, we just all from the West Volusia Regional Chamber, from Halifax Health, from all of our sponsors, want to say thank you so much. Still missing a page, but that's okay. So anyhow, I wanted to thank you all, and we look forward to next year. And I want to let everyone know that if you enjoyed Rocky Lynn, he will be out front with CDs. And then his wife asked me to tell you that he is actually participating in something called Rolling Thunder this week on Sunday. And it will be ending at Bruce Rossmeyer's complex in Ormond. So if you're interested in seeing him this Sunday, please go see him. I'm sorry? With his whole band, yes, I'm sorry, with his whole band. And so once again, I would just thank everybody. Thank you all for your help and your support of this event. Thank you to my daughter, Peyton DeCrenza, for singing for me this today. I wish you all a very safe week and day. Have a nice day.